Hey Fiber fans, thanks for tuning in and joining us Monday on a short holiday week. We're so glad you guys are here. We are actually live with ALLO's Chief Construction Officer, Todd Heyne. We're here in the Lincoln office. We're really excited to chat about all things ALLO's 20th ALLOversary. We've got some good construction information. I'm excited for you guys to learn more about Todd and his journey, what brought him to ALLO, and some really awesome things that we're doing here. So if you guys have any questions or comments, don't hesitate to drop them into your comment section just below, and we'd be happy to ask those to Todd. So we're gonna jump in. Let's kick it off. How long have you worked at ALLO, Todd?
I have been here almost 6.5 years, well, a little over 6.5 years, coming up on 7. I joined the company in 2017 in the early part of the Lincoln, Nebraska build.
Awesome, and you've loved every single second?
Every single second. It's, yeah, we joke about that. There's not many easy days at ALLO for really any teammates, but construction certainly can be challenging, and It's been a learning experience.
Yeah. Tell us about part of that learning experience. What does a typical day-to-day look like in your role?
Yeah, I think maybe it's better to think about it as a typical week. Because every day is a variable. There's always some emergency or something that happens that can kind of throw a monkey wrench in it. But just looking over the course of a week, I really focus on working with my direct teammates. And so we spend a half an hour together each week, and that's a real priority. We also have a team meeting that happens every week, much like every other team. Then there's quite a few standing meetings, and most of the standing meetings revolve around new market construction. And I think last count we got 25 new markets under construction in some phase. So we get down to the weeds and really look at where things are at and make sure things are going well in each of those markets. So that's kind of what a general week looks like. And then there's always something that happens to either on the personnel side or maybe on the construction side or anything in between there. There's always something that's happening.
That is a very busy week for sure. Yeah, that many markets under construction is wild.
Yeah, it's exciting. It really is exciting for not only ALLO but for all our future customers.
Yeah. So as you know, the whole purpose of us being here today, for the whole year of 2023, we're celebrating ALLO's 20th ALLOversary. What does that milestone mean to you?
When I first think about 20 years, I think about vested retirement, but I probably shouldn't be thinking about vested retirement. But no, the 20 years, I mean, that just shows how long ALLO has been in the business. So I haven't been with the company that long, but there's many who have. And it just shows the level of professionalism, the level of expertise, really the level of commitment we bring to every market that we're in. Those that are fully constructed, the ones that are in every market, even when it's fully constructed, when does that end? Because it doesn't. Even in our smaller communities, we don't have enough homes in our smaller communities in Nebraska, Colorado, or Arizona. So all of those communities are continuing to expand, and we expand with the community. So when folks ask, hey, when is construction over? We have kind of like the main construction effort, but then we have that continual expansion that goes on as the communities continue to grow. And if you're a home builder and you want to come build a bunch of homes in Nebraska and Colorado and Arizona, we definitely need you.
Yeah, we love to partner with you there.
Yeah, there we go.
So what's your favorite thing about working at ALLO?
Oh, that's an easy one. The people. Just the people are absolutely fantastic at ALLO. I'm very fortunate to work with just some fantastic teammates. Ed, Brent, Will, Doug, Mike, Al, Doc, Terry, Don, Nate, Allison, and I'll even throw Brad in there. I sometimes like to work with Brad. But there's just it's the people at ALLO and the leadership levels as well as the front line, the folks that are really getting things done every day. They're my favorite thing about ALLO. It's why I joined the company and why I continue to stick around. It's just the fantastic people.
The culture is very real, and a lot of those people that you listed have been at ALLO for quite a few years.
For a long time, but most of them have been here longer than me. Oh, well, yeah, I think about all. Only a couple of them have been here shorter than me. But
that is awesome.
The folks I listed are the folks I spend a lot of time with. We solve a lot of problems together, and they're all just fantastic teammates.
They are. So reversing a little bit back to ALLO's construction process that you've hit on a little bit already. That doesn't just appear out of thin air. There's a lot of partnerships and collaboration that happens with towns and city officials before we get to make a formal announcement. Can you tell us a little bit about that, what those relationships are like in that process a little bit?
Sure, it really goes to the business development efforts. We got a fantastic business development team. We got folks in every state. We our general managers. We got Mike, Bob, Dave, and Clint in our four regions here in ALLO, and they're all doing a lot of really hard work in terms of business development and engagement, and really having those discussions with not only elected leaders, the folks that are serving their communities, but also the career professionals that are inside those cities. So we like meeting with both of them, both the elected officials as well as the career professionals, and really giving them a sense of, hey, what do we do? What does timelines look like? How much construction resources are going to come into the community? What that timeline looks like? And further, we like to engage with all the utilities, especially the electrical utilities, as well as the gas utilities, and we even get the other telecoms the folks are going to compete with to make sure they know that we're coming into the town and what to expect. So they're properly resourced and ready.
Yeah, it's a very transparent process. Everyone knows what to expect before it starts.
For sure, we like to do a big announcement. As soon as it's announced, you'll see everything come up on our webpage. You can go to allofiber.com. You can go and select your community. And in there you're going to find a ton of resources on the construction. What's in the design phase, what's in the construction phase, what's already completed, and you can get service. So how we build a community is we build them by grids. You can think of it as roughly 1,000 rooftops at a time. So 1,000 people or homes or businesses or governmental entities, 1,000 of those rooftops are built in one grid, and every grid is a mini project for ALLO. And we often have multiple ones going at the same time in a community, but once that grid is done, you can get service. And so we call that fully light tested, and we hand it over to our internal customer, the operations team, sales, marketing, the social teams, so they can get the word out, and hopefully folks can get signed up ahead of time and get service right away.
Yeah, that's when we get to meet all of you. So, switching gears a little bit, do you have a favorite community to visit?
I always joke that my favorite community to visit is to check on the work in Breckenridge from the top of Peak 8 during the winter, but that's obviously not
a lot of work is getting done, sure.
Actually, very little good work is getting done at that point, but because you can't really expect anything because everything's under snow. But I do like going to Breckenridge. It's an awesome place to be, but there's not a lot of, unfortunately, not a lot of ALLO plant yet built in Breckenridge. We continue to expand every year with that community and that public-private partnership. But I love going to Arizona in the winter when it gets really cold here. Going there in the summer is another. I mean, all of our communities are pretty hot in the summer. I love Nebraska and Colorado both in the spring and in the fall. And then all of our communities are pretty hot in the summer. So, but no, I love making the big road trip across Nebraska and into Colorado, and then getting to Arizona. I've never driven all the way there, so I usually take a flight either into Vegas, going to seeing Havasu and Kingman, or into Phoenix, and then down to Yuma to see those great folks down there.
Yeah. So tell us about if you could do any other job at ALLO. There's a vast variety of jobs here. If you could do any other job at ALLO, what would it be?
And so I thought about this one. There's just so many awesome jobs that you can do at ALLO. And guess what? This is going to become a commercial, because you can go online right now and look at all the open jobs, especially in the construction area. We have fiber designers, we have permit specialists, we have outside plant technicians that pull in cable, MSTs, that are splicers, that are testers. We need locators, we need field engineers, we have community outreach representatives, we need linemen, we need ground hands. Basically, there is a ton of open positions at ALLO, and there is tons of opportunity to get into the company as well as grow and advance. And whether that's being just a professional in one of those jobs and just be a real technical expert, or if you want to grow to be a people leader, we have lots of paths open there. So I would love to take one of those open positions, Alyssa.
Which one would it be?
Oh, I just think any of them are awesome. I've never thrown on the gaps with the linemen. I think what they're doing is really awesome. I think I might be I think I might be too old for that one, but I'm not as fit as they are. But it's definitely the linemen are doing great work, and I think that to join ALLO into that lineman community, boy, there's a lot of growth opportunity there. And so that would be probably one that would be really cool.
I think one of the coolest things about all of those jobs that you just listed, like, yes, we would love to find an expert in any of those fields, people who have experience in all of that, but we will train any right person how to do the job. For sure,
yeah. We used to limit linemen to only folks that had graduated from lineman school at the many lineman schools across the United States. But we're at a point now where our training and readiness and development are at a point where we'll take you for any of these positions. You may have started as like a ground hand, but we'll train you in any of these positions. That includes splicers and light testers and repair technicians. All of those are just great opportunities where you can come in and I mean, the vast majority of folks at ALLO, very few folks that I work with came with prior fiber expertise. There are some of them. Brent Sexton, Al Schroeder, there's some that come to mind that had a lot of expertise before. But even if you come with that expertise, ALLO is going to be a little bit different. So again, our training, and we do classroom training, and everyone at ALLO does side-by-side, shoulder-to-shoulder on the job training. So we're going to get you up to speed really fast for that new job, and we have lots of upgrade training to make sure you continue to advance in your career.
Awesome. I just learned about Joel Pierce's journey to become a fiber splicer.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? He was over in Iraq and working for the U.S. Army, and he kind of his story in the good news where he got into they're like, hey, we need someone to go do this splicing in Iraq, and he volunteered for it. He was injured in an explosion, and we're very fortunate that he was okay. Not only that, he came back to his hometown. He's a Lincoln Northeast graduate, proud to be a Rocket. He's back in his hometown and doing great work, not only in Lincoln, but he's a manager of this entire region of splicers. So he's doing a fantastic job. So it's great to have Joel on board.
Yeah. We're throwing in a fun one to spice it up a little bit. Completely unrelated to ALLO, unrelated to our 20th ALLO anniversary. Let's say we're sending you to a deserted island and you can only take 3 things with you. What would those 3 things be?
Satellite radio, extra batteries, and water. I want to get immediate rescue because
you wouldn't do
being on a deserted island is a horrible place to be. I've had survival training in my past, and usually being anywhere and anything deserted is pretty miserable. So,
you were really prepared.
I'm looking to get extracted at the first opportunity, and if I got to hunker down for long-term survival, probably need some shelter and some matches to have some fire and warmth, and fresh water supply would be ideal as well.
Yeah, it would. We're going to take it back a step to the
question. I don't know if that was as fun as you wanted.
It wasn't like a beach ball or...
No. Something useless to not help me in the survival situation. Yeah, that's good.
You kind of already hit on the careers at ALLO a little bit already. So if any of our viewers were on here and they maybe have already looked at allofiber.com/careers and were thinking about a different opportunity here, what would you tell them?
Just really, maybe not just think about what you want to do today, but maybe what you want to do in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, and really think about that career trajectory. Often you have to walk up, you have to go up one ladder, and then when you get to the top of that ladder, you got to move to a different ladder and then keep moving up. So, it isn't always a very linear progression. It can be, but really think about how sometimes you just got to get your foot in the door and get in with a great company. We have more entry-level positions than we do senior management positions, but sometimes you got to get your foot in the door and get in that first job and then work your way up to those next levels. So, if you come in with an open mind and really develop some great relationships with other teammates across the company, the doors will open.
Yeah.
And, when you work hard and you're doing good things, folks will notice and you will advance at ALLO. I'm certain of that.
That's a really great answer. In a past interview, which I'm sure many of you guys tuned into, is probably 2 or 3 months ago, we had our regional general manager, Dave Miller, on, and he was chatting about, culture and ALLO's progress in the region. And he had a few comments about the top funniest people at ALLO.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I was not included in the top 3. And Dave, I'm sure you're out there listening right now. I mean, you can see that Alyssa is chuckling. Clearly, I'm one of the, at least in the top 3 funniest people at ALLO, unless I'm not funny. And see, that also made her laugh, because sometimes I'm not funny at all, and I'm in some other mood. And but
I'm sure
Dave, I really think, actually, in all seriousness, I like giving Dave a hard time, but he's a fantastic teammate. He works extremely hard. He's dedicated. He has ALLO at his heart all the time. And ALLO is a better place because Dave Miller is with the company. So thanks, Dave. Even though I'm not in the top 3 funniest, it's fantastic to have you as a teammate, a partner, and a friend.
That was a good way of redeeming yourself. Our construction team has grown significantly in the past few years. I've been at ALLO 6 years, and it has well over doubled in the time that I've been here. Could you have imagined that it would be where it is today?
Actually, I did imagine that. What maybe I didn't imagine, and this is probably right when you first joined, was maybe some of the, not only ups, but we had some downs. So we really grew the team towards the end of the Lincoln Bill. We were sitting probably at about 150 teammates. And a lot of things have to come together to get new markets started. And a lot of those things didn't come together. And so we had to find other places. We didn't lay anyone off. We've knocked on wood. We continue to have a really good streak where we find other homes for folks when things turn. But we went all the way down to 50 teammates. Once the things started picking up, we were very fortunate to have, some investors come in that are willing to commit some additional capital, and we were able to get back on that growth path again. So we went from 50 to where we're sitting now to 500. So we've 10x. We've knocked out double. So from that dip. And so what has been the challenge, is those ups and downs, and we just want to keep the ups going. And so it's really on the team every day to continue to produce and do their very best, and good things come from that. So that's what we're focused on.
So did you say around 500?
Yes, around 500. 450 and 500 depends. I hate to say it depends on the day, but that's, I think we're sitting right at 472-ish. Okay. So, but we have 47 open positions. So if we filled them all, we'd be above 500.
Well, that segues into the next question. I mean, you have 47 positions open now. Let's say 20 years from now, where would you anticipate our construction team being at?
Well, the only thing I'm certain of is I probably won't be around. So hopefully I'll still be 6 feet above ground and not 6 feet under. But the one thing I'm certain of is that a lot of the great professionals I work with today, they're going to be taking my spot someday. And then they'll be the team that's leading that next round 20 years from now. Will we be 500? I hope so. Hopefully we'll be bigger than that. We'll continue to be growing, maybe adding companies, maybe adding communities. And those adding communities may not be a completely new market build, but we may come in and do some acquisitions and then finish the construction. And I could see that happening over the next 20 years.
Yeah.
And don't forget that I talked about way back at the beginning, all of our communities continue to expand. So I like to remind people here in Lincoln, Nebraska, that Lincoln grows by roughly a Gehring every year. So we continue, and in some years it's growing even faster than that. If we could build more homes, I think it actually would grow faster than that.
Yeah.
But we are growing in every direction in Lincoln, and if we could get more homes built in all of our rural communities, we'd also continue to grow much faster. We have a little bit of growth going on in North Platte, some growth going on in Fremont, Norfolk, Columbus, and then in our South Omaha areas where our newest construction's happening. There's just so much growth in the southern part of Omaha. It's just really exciting to see what's happening there.
Brad had a really great answer last month where he said, yes, we probably will add teammates, but we'll start to be a lot more efficient in the work that we're doing. and so maybe it won't grow.
Yeah, right. It might not be
as we think.
exponential, and then there's always homes for folks. And we always also need to do continual maintenance. So things break. Dump trucks run into our aerial plant and rip it down, and we got to get it fixed. Folks are put up a fence and they'll cut a line in their backyard, and so we always need to have folks that do that continual maintenance, and there'll always be a requirement for that in every one of our markets.
Yeah. So that world of ALLO is constantly changing. Every day is different, which is why you said, what's a typical week look like? How do you stay motivated at work?
Oh, stay motivated. It's easy. It's I'm a creature of habit. I have a lot of daily, weekly routines. Try to wake up early, get a little exercise in. I do walkabouts regularly. It's nice being in Lincoln because there's so many teammates. Every team has some representation here, and we have quite a few folks that are in the office, and so you can have those discussions as you're walking about and really get to meet folks. I'm also very fortunate to have a lot of great support from my teammates, the folks I work with every day, as well as the bosses, the investors, the communities, a lot of great support. Most importantly, I have great support at home. Because none of us are in this by ourselves. Our spouses are definitely there to support us. So thank you, Nancy. I don't think you're watching, but if you are, you definitely get a call. That's my wife. She gets a special call out. So thank you for everything
Nancy's
you do.
The best. And then she is watching. We're on LinkedIn.
There you go.
Okay, so our office that we're currently sitting in is actually moving across the street.
Yep.
Let's say you got to add anything, the possibilities are endless, to that office, what would it be?
That's easy. We need a gym.
Oh,
a full gym with a locker room and a shower.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah, so, just having a fitness break, whether it's, a 10-minute walkabout, or actually if you could get a half an hour, get a good quick lift in, or maybe some cardio in. I think that's just good for everyone's going back to being motivated and focused. I really think that helps us all stay a little bit on top of our game. So that would be the one thing I would add. And if we can't do that, we can get gym memberships. We do have a great benefit at ALLO where you have some healthy bucks. Doesn't quite cover a gym membership for the year, but it does get you there a little bit. So it's something better than nothing. And so I deeply appreciate the Healthy Bucks opportunity, and it's a great benefit that you can take advantage of when you fill one of these construction jobs that I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, they're always winning our step competition.
The locators especially win the step competitions because they walk a lot.
Yeah. Okay, we're on to question 16. Supporting military veterans is a huge priority at ALLO. Tell us a little bit about your background, why that's important to you, and some of the missions and things that we've accomplished here.
Sure. I was so before I came to ALLO, I was a career naval officer. I grew up in Nebraska, out in western Nebraska, small town of Oshkosh. Went to the Naval Academy. Spent 20 plus years as a naval flight officer in the mighty E-2 Hawkeye. Had to pay for my sins at some point. Went to the Pentagon for my final 4 years. When I left the Pentagon, I was very, very fortunate to have an opportunity to return to my home state and join the ALLO team. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the Lincoln build, my knowledge of fiber optic construction techniques. And I'm still learning every day, even though I've been here for 6.5 years. There's so much that I still don't know, and I'm very fortunate to work with pros who know so much more than me. But again, we continue to grow. But back to the veterans, when I joined, I think it was Leslie Nordhausen and I, we missed the very first year of the Department of Labor Hire Vets Award. We missed that one, but Leslie and I put our heads together, and I'm like, hey, let's get this in for the next year. We got it together, and we earned, I don't like to say we were given anything, because we earned the gold medallion award from the Department of Labor, and it's a way it's a recognition really of your commitment to hire, train, and retain veteran, as well as Guard and Reserve members. And in ALLO, we have, I think, 15% of the folks that work at ALLO are veterans, or they're in the Guard or in the Reserves of some type. And when we won those first awards, we were not in any what I would call a fleet concentration area or by a major base. The closest one was in Offutt. We weren't really building in the Omaha area. So it was a lot of veterans who were returning home, wanting to work in their local communities in Nebraska and Colorado. So we won the gold award. We earned the gold award for 3 years. And this year, the very first year, we won the platinum. We've earned the platinum. I keep saying won.
That's all right.
Feels like you win it, but you don't. You earn it. We earned the platinum award, and we are the only large company in Nebraska to have earned the platinum recognition. And again, it helps that we're down now in Yuma, Arizona. We have the Marine Corps Air Station Yuma, as well as the Yuma Proving Grounds, a large Army base. We have a lot of veteran community folks in that are with ALLO in the Yuma area, but we really make a concentrated effort to hire, train, and retain top veteran talent. So, if you're like me, or maybe if you aren't like me, but most veterans, when they transition, it can be disorienting, whether you've only done 4 years, 8 years, or whether you did a career like myself. You need to find that next mission. You need to find something that makes a difference, that's meaningful, adds purpose to what you do. And what we do at ALLO, oh man, it's just awesome because we bring world-class infrastructure, world-class internet, TV, and phone services to every community that we're in. And watching that go through the business development, design, construction phase, all the way to turning it over to sales and taking care of customers every day. It's just a fantastic feeling to know I was a part of that.
Yeah.
And hopefully every person at ALLO feels that same sense of, what's your why, what's your purpose. It's like, hey, we're making a difference in every community that we're in. And it's fantastic. It's a great feeling. And I appreciate the opportunity that ALLO has given me personally, as well as every vet and everyone who's joined the team.
Yeah. We've said before that, the values of ALLO oftentimes align with multiple of the values of a veteran. And I think that speaks true to their success here and why they kind of find a home in ALLO and choose to build their careers.
Yeah, we can do a quick plug here for our core values. Honest, exceptional, local, hassle-free. There's only 4 of them at ALLO. Makes it really simple. My prior life in the Navy was honor, courage, and commitment. So you try to align those core values. Same with the Marine Corps. The Army and the Air Force a little bit different in terms of their core values, but they're going to ring true. If you come and join the ALLO team, honest, exceptional, local, and hassle-free are really going to mean something because they're not just words we put up on a plaque. And that's how we run the business. We make decisions based on those 4 core values every day, and if we're not adhering to those, we're going to hold each other accountable. That's another thing I really love about an ALLO is we'll call each other if we're not being hassle-free with each other or with a customer. Hey, we're going to put ourselves in check and make sure that we get recalibrated and doing the right thing.
Yeah. We're going to switch gears just a little bit. Like you said earlier, we've got over 20 communities that are actively under construction. So I'm sure we have a viewer or two in a community that is currently under construction right now. What would you say to that person? Because construction isn't always a hassle-free experience. So what would you say to that viewer?
I've done a lot of homeowners associations meetings and other types of meetings. What I usually equate it to is if you've ever had a home project, and the 2 that I equate to that I've done myself is a kitchen remodel or a bathroom remodel. Those both are extremely intrusive, and they don't fall into the hassle-free bucket. But the thing on all of them is when you're done with that project, you're really happy with the end result. And so, and I would ask the folks in the communities that are under construction is to please be patient, and especially maybe have some empathy for the folks that are doing the construction. Unfortunately, we've just had some really, really horrible things happen to some of the workers in the communities they've been spit on, they've been called names, firearms have been drawn on them. Just things that just aren't needed. And I know we live in a pretty divisive world, but everyone at ALLO and all of our contract partners at Bauer Underground or any of our other contract partners, all of them come to work every day hoping to do our best and to bring world-class infrastructure to your community. So I apologize up front for the intrusiveness. Apologize if we missed a door sticky on your door or maybe a door knock. But the folks really do want to do their best. And if maybe their accent is a little bit different than what you might hear in Nebraska or Colorado or Arizona, or maybe they just look a little bit different, they're here doing a really, really difficult job. And they're here doing it for the collective benefit of all of us. And I would just ask for some kindness and empathy. That would be hopefully my main message I'm putting out.
That's a good one. Yeah, they do work very hard. What are you most looking forward to in the near future at ALLO?
Yeah.
So you can't say retirement unless you're retiring in the very near future.
I'm not now the very near, and so I thought about what is very near future, and I'm going to put very near as like very near, like the end of December. So we've been working on an extremely large and difficult project with the Papillion and La Vista Community Schools, where we're bringing redundant fiber optic connectivity to every school in that Papillion and La Vista Community Schools, PLCS, which I didn't even know what that stood for, call it 8 months ago. So we've been working nonstop for 8 months, and we're going to have that finished by the end of December, and I'm really, really looking forward to having those schools connected and having this really difficult project be done. We're also bringing several communities, the first customers online in Papillion, in Gretna, La Vista. You're right behind it. Same with Ralston. You're right behind it. I'm also very excited about kicking off our joint project with Google Fiber in Bellevue. Google Fiber has selected the ALLO construction team to build Bellevue on their behalf. So I'm really looking forward to getting Bellevue started and serving those great folks right outside the Offutt base.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
So now we're getting all these communities done, finished with construction. So that leads us into question 19. Let's say Brad calls you up tomorrow and says, Todd, you get to decide the next ALLO community we're expanding to. It can be anywhere in the world. You pick.
Yeah, he doesn't like my answer to this one. For the good folks in Garden County, whether it's Oshkosh, Llewellyn, or Lisco, you would be my pick. Unfortunately, I think some other company got some government money to build Oshkosh, and so you better stay on your game, whatever company you are, because if you mess it up, we're going to come in and build them. So this is my hometown.
That would mean a lot.
Yeah.
Good one.
Anyways.
Okay, question 20, very last one. Obviously, you know this, but when a customer is thinking about needing an internet provider, they have options. And most of our communities, there's at least one other option. And so they have to make the buying decision to say, yep, ALLO's who I'm going to go with. I'm going to sign up for ALLO service. And we are here today because of our customers, 20 years. It's crazy. And so what would you say to our customers for helping us get to where we are today?
We're only 4 days from Thanksgiving, and so it just makes me reflect on all the things I'm thankful for. And at the top of the list, it is our customers. Without you, we don't exist as a company. We build this world-class infrastructure. We spend so much time thinking about you, but without you, we're nothing. So we spend a lot of time thinking about the customer experience at ALLO. I've been very fortunate to talk to many new hires at ALLO, and when they join the team for the first day, what we tell everyone is, hey, start at the customer and work backwards. And if you don't know what to do, if you have a really difficult problem or maybe something that's just not in the standard operating procedures, think about how you would like to be treated and treat the customer that way, and you won't be wrong. And they may not be 100% right. I'm sure there'd be ways we could do things a little bit better. But when we start at the customer and work backwards and treat them like we want to be treated, we're just not going to be wrong, and we are going to win and win and win. And I'll take that every day. When we treat our customers the way we want to be treated. And just again, thank you so much for everything you've done and what you continue to do in supporting ALLO and all our efforts here. But again, without you, thank you so much.
That was a good one. All right, that was all 20. You survived.
I
Awesome
did.
job.
I
Thank
made it
you.
through.
All right, Fiber fans, that is all for today. We have one more video on the 20th of next month. We will have Jocelyn. She's our director of HR, and she's going to have some really good insight into ALLO's 20th ALLOversary. And then we are unfortunately wrapping up our giant celebration. I can't believe that it's almost the end of the year, but it is.
It's gone by quick.
So before we hop off, do we have any questions from our viewers? No pressing questions. If you guys have anything that you want to ask to Todd, don't hesitate to drop them in below, and we know where he sits, so we can go ahead and fire the questions to his desk. Thank you guys so much for spending your Monday afternoon with us. Have a great week and happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.